What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In this I'm going to bring you my around 1 year 10,000 mile review. This is a 2021 Subaru Outback. This is the Onyx edition. This is a vehicle I purchased new basically when they had their 0.9% financing. So let's first go with the pricing. I think I still have put the sticker out here. So the suggested retail price on this is almost $39,000. It does have the upgraded entertainment, 11.5 inch, and the moonroof. I really just did that package just for the moonroof, but it kind of gets what you'll probably have to pay retail for this now. I think I paid around $35,000 for it. That was before the car shortage and everything, but I'll kind of go over some good, bad. The first thing, no issues with the vehicle. We haven't had any problems. Our Ascent there that you can see in the garage actually had a default battery from the factory, so we did have to get that replaced, but this one hasn't had any mechanical problems of any kind. I do like that everything is mostly black on it, but exterior wise it's held up really well, besides one little caveat here that I actually kind of messed up on. Got a little too close to the garage when it shut, so it did cause a little bit of paint damage, but the paint's held up really well. Overall, the vehicle has interiors held up extremely well. This front seat that I use is probably the one we use the most, and it has held up really well without any issues, no wear or tear or anything. Let's check the exact mileage on it. So I think we're going right around 10,000 miles. While I'm in here, I will just go ahead and talk about this a little bit. Got 11,000 miles. The actual fuel on this thing is not very good. That's my one big complaint. Currently I'm getting over the whole course is 21.7 miles per gallon, which is not what it's rated at. It's supposed to be rated at 23 and 30, 26 combined. I don't ever foresee me being able to get 26 combined gas mileage out of this. Maybe 23, but I have a very short 23 or 6 mile commute to work, so I usually get around 20 miles per gallon, which isn't very good with gas price at $5, which is why I honestly would really like to trade this in for a Forester, mainly because we already have an Ascent. But this is a review on this. So exterior's been great. I still like the way they look. I like how all the lights are blacked out. If you look at these, how they are blacked out, kind of have that smoke tint to them. And some of the Ascents and Foresters are not, so they're more, they just don't look as clean or as sharp. It is really good in the winter. I had really good luck with this in the winter. The tires are okay. Probably not my first choice, but they do pretty good in the winter. They do really good in the rain and just dry overall pavement. Wear them pretty good. The brakes, this is where I would have liked a little bit bigger brake. You could probably fix this with some pads and some new brake fluid, but the brakes on this just aren't very good for how large of a vehicle this is. This is a pretty large, heavy vehicle, and I just found that the brakes were kind of a weak point when it comes to the driving. Plenty of horsepower. It has the bigger 2.5 liter. I'm not going to show it to you, but the 2.5 liter, 2.4 liter turbocharged motor. Basically, this is what they're putting in all of their vehicles. WRX debuted in the Ascent and Legacy also, if you get the XT model. Kind of give you a look here. There's nothing special about it, really. There is a known issue with some of these batteries where they just go bad. Changing the oil is really easy, so maintenance on it. You got the oil right there. The plug's real easy to get to in the bottom. Take 0W20, which is pretty common for these type of vehicles. But overall, the outside, really like the look of it. We do not use these roof rails very often, but they are handy because you already have the cross rails built in. So I've already talked about that. We haven't used them, but I could see how that would be helpful. And go through some of the things we really like about it, and that is how much room there is in it. So you have all kinds of room here in the back for storage. I recently just fit an 8x10 rug in here, and it literally went all the way to the front and touched the front mirror, so you have a nice storage here. You have a full-size spare underneath. So we have a full-size spare. That's only in the Onyx and Wilderness from what I can recall. So there's tons of storage here. The real reason we got this is because we have a toddler and we're getting ready to have a second baby, and the room in the back is just, besides the Honda Passport, it's really class leading with the actual room that you have in the back. These seats do recline a little bit, so this is not something that I have personally used, but I have noticed that some of the passengers, I just noticed that I have that seatbelt all messed up. Some passengers have really liked how you can press this little button and these seats will recline a little bit, which is nice. We have taken this to Florida before, and I still only got around 25 miles per gallon, so I'm honestly not sure you can get 30. You'd have to be driving really, I don't know, favorably to get that. But this is a pretty big size car seat, still rear facing. There's tons of room. This is positioned how my wife sits. She's 5'10", so you could fit a fairly large car seat in here pretty easily. And then we're going to put a car seat in here. Very easy to install. They have these little flaps that you put open to install them. So the interior, I really am starting to grow fond of the seats. They're just a WeatherTech, or not a WeatherTech, some type of basically polyester type material, water resistant. I believe this actually came from Toyota. They're StarTech. They have a different name for it, but I think that's originally where it came from. You do get your back vents and heated seats. I've never used the heated seats, so not in the back, rear at least. But that's a good feature for $35,000, which is what I paid for it. You're gonna have to pay retail for it now. Power seats on both sides, which my wife likes. I don't really care about powered seats, so they didn't bother me, but you have that. Pretty decent storage room here in the front. I do not like that that's where the phone goes, because that area gets really hot in the summertime. So right now you really can't even put your phone in there just because of how hot it is. But tons of storage area. Doors have held up really well. The materials in here feel good. I did upgrade the tweeters in here to they have some kicker ones you can order straight from Subaru. That made a difference with the stereo, but the stereo's, it's okay. You get used to it. It's not as good as the Harman Kardon system, because you only got 6 speakers instead of, I believe there's 12 in the Harman Kardon one. So it's not the greatest. You can't get the Harman Kardon in the Onyx edition, which I'm not really sure why, but that's not for me to decide. So ton of passenger room. Basically the same as the Legacy, it's just a little bit stretched out. Tons of storage area, we really like that. I'm not a huge fan of this entertainment, or this big massive screen. It does freeze a lot. It looks really good when you're using Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but it's improved on what it was, but you only have physical buttons for like the volume tuning and then the actual heat adjustment. So if you want to adjust how your HVAC or your air or heat is in this, you have to use the touchscreen. Same thing with the heated seats. So make sure you like that feature before you get it. Teeny tiny sunroof, but you can get a sunroof on this, which is a good option. I'll put this black in the glove box, but overall pretty happy with it. Besides the gas mileage, it just doesn't get very good gas mileage from my end. But if you need a larger vehicle, this is probably a good route to go. Tons of ground clearance, all-wheel drive, tons of aftermarket parts for this. I'll probably get different rims at some point if I keep it, just because those are a little heavy, so it may help with fuel mileage a little bit. But just make sure you're okay with the fuel mileage. That's my big thing, and the price tag and how large it is. It's a fairly large vehicle. As you can see here from the back, it's a pretty big vehicle for just being 2 rows. Let's see, anything else? Oh, LED headlights. These are the steering response ones, which I think Subaru's putting in all their vehicles. These are a game changer, especially if you're on some windy, curvy roads. They work really well, so we do like those. We had a decent amount of snow this year, and it did well. No damage or anything to the front. I think we had 10 inches at one point, and it really didn't have any issue. I did notice that there's a decent amount of little chip dings in the windshield, which I haven't considered to have Subaru look at. You probably can't see these very well, but there is a decent amount of chips from our trip from Florida. Subaru is known to have some window issues, especially the front one. But overall, really happy with it. Especially 0.9% financing. If you can get that close to 0% right now with interest rates the way they're going, I think it makes it a good deal. So that's it. This will be just a 10,000 mile update. If you have any comments, questions, leave them below, and I will get back to you next time.